Lerner, BrooklynPhotoWorks.com, and today we have a Squarespace portfolio critique. And before I get into doing this critique, I just want to thank you guys for sending in all of your websites, and they keep coming. In fact, I've got so many websites to critique that it's going to take me literally months to get through all of them. So please be patient, because I do want to spend the right amount of time with all of your websites and make sure that I give them the right attention. Okay, so today's website we have from he goes by Matthew. He actually sent me in his email that he goes by Matthew. That's the English version of it. So I'm just going to call him Matthew. And he's got a nice Squarespace layout over here. He's definitely done a good job with utilizing the Squarespace tools. But right off the bat, I can say that visually it's overwhelming. We've got this really nice banner up here, when you land on his website, and we've got a link to his portfolio. We've got all the links to the stuff on his website. We've got a Hire Me link. And then as we scroll down, we've got these embedded images here that don't do anything. So he says experimental fine art, portrait, fashion. Maybe this is like an advertisement. Then there's all the social media stuff down here. Then there's links for hanging out, for traveling. And every time I click on one of these things, I get taken to a new place, and I just see, here's some photos I took in Budapest. So I click on these, and these only appear as this small little embedded gallery. Here's some images I took in Sarajevo, and it's the same kind of deal. The imagery looks nice. It's kind of cool, but just right off the bat, I don't really know what I'm looking at. I go to Let's Hang Out, and he's got all of his social links up here. He's got some stuff that he's embedded as far as social media, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like this kind of thing should really be tightened up, and it should be maybe in one place, in that it should just say social up here, and there should be, maybe his social feeds would be a link up here. So let's actually go back home, and I'm going to go to portfolio. Now we get into the portfolio, and right off the bat, the imagery looks nice. The editing is really clean. There's a lot of repetition in my mind. I can see that some of these things have a very similar look. Like there's the two women with the snakes. There's these two duos of women. Very similar shots over here. And I think that, this is obviously from the same shoot. There's only a handful of shoots up here, and this is, I think, a very common thing that happens with a lot of photographers that are kind of getting started, is that until you really build a large body of work, you've only got a handful of shoots to draw from. Now, Matthew has a lot of nice work up here. It's beautifully shot. The editing is really crisp. And what I think that would be a lot cooler is that maybe instead of having this one gallery here, and I just want to show you guys that you can click on these and have these images go bigger, which looks really nice the way that they pop out like that. And then you can just hit the X and get back into them right there. Is that rather than maybe having this one gallery with these gigantic thumbnails all stacked together, maybe this portfolio, as he calls it, could be divided into, it could be called fashion, and one could be called studio, and one could be called lifestyle, because I see this as more of a lifestyle shot. This is more lifestyle. This is more lifestyle. Although this one kind of looks a little bit out of focus. Let me just see what that is. No, it's just, it's maybe a little bit over processed, but it's still very cool. This is lifestyle. This is more lifestyle. This one doesn't do it for me. This little kind of netting thing over here. But I like this one. I think this one's stronger. I like all the negative space that we have over to the side here. But and there's a nice portrait. But the pole that's obstructing her head bothers me, and her thumb kind of stabbing herself in the neck, not as great. So I would say out of the three images of this gal, the one here in the field to me is the most appealing. Same thing with the hair shots. I think this one's really cool, although the expression's a little funny, but the hair looks amazing, and I like kind of like the double exposure look. And this one over here, actually, no, they kind of both work. They're kind of cool. A lot of the hair flipping, I think that in this kind of case, you really kind of have to pick maybe one, two tops of the hair flipping. So that's kind of what I'm going to say as far as his portfolio is concerned. I would say if you're going to be concentrating on fashion, you're going to be shooting a lot of pretty girls, then maybe differentiate the two as lifestyle or fashion, or just pick, a smaller subset so that there's not as much repetition. Okay. So that's fine for that. Let's see. So that basically is his portfolio. I think I'm done with his portfolio, but the thing that confuses me is that if I click back here on his home page, I've got this Let's Hang Out, I've got this Let's Travel. So he's got travel photos, and I don't really understand why there would be travel photos kind of in a completely separate realm. So I wonder if travel should be one of those things that is another subcategory over here, if that's something that you want to get into doing. Maybe that's something that you could do. These just kind of look like random street shots. I almost feel like these things, both of these galleries, I think would probably do better on your blog. So let's just take a quick peek over there. Right now only in Croatian. That is totally fine. And these are great. These are really nice. The way that you've laid these photos together, they're cohesive. And I think that that's what a blog can be about. A blog can be more of a story. Just looking at this first one, it's a little bit, again, I feel like it's one continuous thing. And I think that it would be great if you could really just tighten this up and, just pick some of the best shots. Like this is a really nice portrait. This one looks more like a snapshot. Chickens, I have no idea. This maybe could be a cool Instagram shot. This one, not so much. Same with that one. This one's really cool. I like that. I like her expression. The hair blocking her face, maybe not as much. Same with this. Same with the ATM. So that's all I'm trying to say, Matthew, is that you've got some really nice imagery. I think your processing is really cool. I think you just need to go in there and you need to edit it, and as well as try to refine how you're presenting it, because I feel like it's a little bit too far over the place. I think that the travel stuff could be put into the blog as well. And whatever the let's see the Let's Hang Out, and the Let's Hang Out could be a social media thing, or you've already got the Let's Hang Out stuff covered over here. Let's see what the special thanks is. A list of people I've worked with who've helped me throughout the years. You know what? I don't necessarily feel that this is really that important as well, unless this is part. You know what? Honestly, the special thanks could be something that you put in the About Me. Let's go over there. About me, I am a portrait and fashion experimental photographer. I don't necessarily think you're that much of an experimental photographer from what I'm seeing. I mean, you do some portrait stuff, you do some fashion, but I'm not really seeing some stuff that's like way out there, in like the Von Wong realm or something of that nature. So I think a portrait fashion photographer would be a pretty nice way to say it. I like making people look beautiful. Nothing better than a smile on models' faces. You know what? I don't necessarily know that you need to see models or say models, because I don't know if all of these people are in fact models. But there's nothing wrong with saying nothing better than a smile on someone's face. Okay, so your contact information is good. I mean, you could say something like, a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and then you could put your special thanks down here. The Hire Me, that's on the top of every page. I think that's really cool. But the thing that I don't like about it is that where it says interested in working together, contact me, why do I have to go to another step? If I hit contact me, this comes up. Hire Me should immediately come up with your contact information. I should not have to take an extra step. So, in closing, Matthew, I think you've done a great job with the Squarespace platform. I think your website looks fantastic. I think you've got some really nice work. I really just feel that you need to both edit down your work so that you really pick only your best stuff and kind of keep some of those secondary photos off of the website, and then maybe reorganize your work so that it's a little bit more concise, that when I go to your website, I know that you are a fashion and portrait photographer. Here's immediately right at that work, and then your blog can go more into the stories and the travel and like the behind the scenes from your fashion shoots and your portrait shoots. So that's basically it. Thank you, Matthew, for submitting your website. And I want to thank all you guys for submitting your websites. Please submit them to BrooklynPhotoWorks@gmail.com. I will do my best to get through to them. Don't forget that if you enter the code ADAM, ADAM, when you convert from a trial to a full-fledged Squarespace account, you will get 10% off your Squarespace for that year. So again, that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll see you soon.